When Esther comes on to him, John comes back to reality and yells at her to go to her room. Esther runs to her room, sobbing hysterically as the makeup streams down her face. Meanwhile, Kate is resting in the hospital when she gets a call on her cell phone. It is Dr. Varva from the Sarn Institute in Estonia. He says he received the picture of Esther and asks where she is. The Sarn Institute isn't an orphanage. It's a mental institution. Kate says that she is at the house with her husband. Dr. Varva warns Kate to call the police and get her family out of the house. Kate says that John won't believe her. He then tells Kate to tell John that Esther is not 9 years old. She is a grown woman named Lena Clammer and is actually 33 years old. She, as one of their most violent patients who disappeared some time ago. Kate is in disbelief, and Dr. Varva says that the scars on her neck and wrists are from her straitjacket. Kate realizes why Esther wears the ribbons around her neck and wrists to cover the scars. The scene cuts to Esther, who now looks horrible. She has wiped off all her makeup, removes her fake teeth, and the ribbons from her neck and wrists. She now looks more like a hag than an innocent child. John goes on the search for Esther in her room, but finds she isn't there. But he does discover something. He turns on a special light and sees Esther's paintings for what they really are: images of violence and sex. John is mortified, but continues on the search, just as the lights go out. He goes downstairs to the electric panel and is stabbed by Esther, but is still alive. Esther stabs him repeatedly, then looks at the top of the stairs and sees that Max has witnessed the whole thing. Max runs off and hides. Esther grabs John's gun from the safe and goes on the search for Max. Thankfully, Kate has escaped from the hospital and races to the house. The road is so slick, though, that when Kate arrives, she crashes through the house and alerts Esther, who is upstairs searching for Max. Kate discovers John and breaks down, but her concern lies with Max. Esther finds Kate and shoots her in the shoulder, but Kate is okay and continues the search for Max. We see that Max is in the greenhouse and hiding behind the plants. She is relieved when she sees Kate on the roof of the greenhouse. But Kate tells her to be quiet because Esther is there. Just as Esther is about to discover Max, Kate screams and Esther shoots at her. The roof is made of glass, so the bullet shatters it, and Kate comes crashing down on top of Esther. Max waits anxiously before Kate regains consciousness and grabs Max and runs. Kate takes Max down to the pond and comforts her, just as she sees police cars pull up to the house to arrest Esther. When the police enter the house, they search the entire household, but when they come to the greenhouse, Esther is gone. At the pond, Kate is continuing to comfort Max when Esther suddenly lunges at her with a knife. Kate and Esther wrestle each other down a hill and right onto the pond, with Max watching on in terror. The gun flies out of Esther's hand as she and Kate wrestle, landing only a few yards away from Max. Esther slashes Kate's other shoulder with the knife, but Kate kicks her off before she can stab her. Max grabs the gun and holds it up. Being only 5 and not knowing how to fire, Max aims and shoots the ice instead of Esther. The ice cracks and breaks, and both Esther and Kate fall into the freezing waters. They both fight underwater before Kate kicks Esther and resurfaces. As Kate is climbing out of the water, Esther pops up and grabs onto Kate's legs, the knife hidden behind her back. Esther says, "Please don't let me die, Mommy." Kate finally loses it and yells, "I'm not your effing mommy," and kicks Esther hard, breaking her neck. Esther sinks back down, and Kate escapes with Max.